Welcome to a practice of balance. Let's begin, as we always do, by taking a comfortable seat. In order to work on balance, we first need to work on grounding. We first need to find the earth beneath us and establish trust that the earth will hold us even if we feel a little shaky. So let's start by intentionally grounding ourselves here to the earth, feeling maybe a little heavier, like getting a sense of the weight of our body, of gravity. Tune into the feeling of bones on the earth, feet, legs. Your hands can maybe feel your flesh, your bones planting itself here. You are welcome to just softly look down in front of you or close your eyes. But allow your vision, your gaze to come inward. And let's bring to mind a large stone, a large rock, just bringing in a sense of weight of earth. That image in your mind, just allowing body to settle here, to trust the weight of our bodies to be held by the earth. As we're breathing in and out of our nose, feeling the roots beneath us, let's allow the inhale to stretch our spine a little bit taller, like a string pulling up the top of your head. And on the exhale, keeping that tall spine, but just relaxing the muscles around the spine. Again, that sense of gravity. Inhale as if the spine, the string, we're just lifting a bit. And we can exhale, giving our weight back to earth. We'll be noticing in this practice what it's like to be out of balance and what it's like to come back into balance. So a simple little experiment of that is to lean our torso forward just a little bit. And if we lean forward, we might notice that we feel a slight strain or effort. And so we can just come back to neutral and notice that that strain goes away. If we lean back a little bit, we can notice that that strain returns, a sign that we're off center a bit. And so we can return. Same thing, if we shift our weight over to one side, we can feel in our bodies where there are muscles holding and there's a slight sense of strain. We can notice when we come back, it's easier to be around our center. Let's try the other direction. Notice just that little signal from the body of what being off center feels like. And we come back. So imagining that center of your body just like a pole, let's rotate from side to side a few times. Picturing just like a barbershop pole or some kind of a straight up and down structure. And you are just moving gently around it. And coming back to center, hands resting easy on our laps. Let's roll the shoulders in a big exaggerated fashion, up, back, and down. Great big circles, getting into all those upper body muscles, moving with breath. And then let's take 3 deep breaths together, inhaling our arms overhead, reaching toward the ceiling, hands join, and exhale, heart center. Let's do that 2 more times. Nice deep breath in and out. Breathing in and out. Inviting our legs to come underneath us. Let's move around into a tabletop position. And as we move through cat and cow, a warm up for the spine, let's bring in this idea of balance, front to back. So moving in these 2 directions, can you move in a way that feels balanced? Like you're giving the front of your body and the back of your body equal attention. The timing is the same. A sense of balance. And then we'll come back to neutral. Reaching the right arm forward and the left leg back, taking away 2 of our table legs and introducing some longer limbs. Notice balance here. Hugging into that center line and just trusting all of the energy wrapping into your center. Release and switch. You might still picture that string gently tugging the top of your head forward as the foot reaches back. Finding your center and then returning to solid ground. Let's work our right foot toward the top of our mat. And come into a small kneeling lunge. Little wake up call for the left hip flexors. Tucking our back toes under and raising that knee. Walking our fingertips forward just slightly off of our mat and coming up into a 3-point balance. Take a moment here to feel your points of contact with the earth, the right foot and your fingers. Take a deep breath in, lifting through the crown of the head, and exhale to lower the left foot to the floor. Back to solid ground with both feet. Lower your head and breathe. And keeping the left foot where it is, let's step the right foot back, dropping the knee, and we'll return to that kneeling lunge on the other side. Taking a moment to notice right side and left side as a practice of balance. And then when you're ready, tucking the back toes, lifting the knee. We'll bring our fingers forward off the edge of the mat and let's find balance here. Pressing down through the sole of the left foot, lengthening through the spine, relying a little bit on the fingers. Balance. And then slowly lowering right foot. Exhaling as we soften into a forward fold. You're welcome to touch fingertips to elbows or just be here with hands on the floor. Inhale, coming into a flat back. Let's sweep our arms up overhead, extended mountain. As we exhale, hands to heart, sinking into chair. We'll do that 2 more times. Inhaling to lift and exhale to lower. Reaching arms up, fingertips toward the ceiling. Let's pull ourselves in 2 directions here. So creating firm footprints with fingers lifting tall. And standing as tall as you possibly can, let's let our arms come to our sides in slow motion. Almost like melting down. And we find ourselves in Tadasana, mountain pose. So let's take a look down at our feet and move around until we feel like we're pretty solidly planted through 2 feet. You might lift your toes, anchor down through the ball of the big toe and the ball of the pinky toe, and then fan the toes out. When you feel solid here and safe, close your eyes or soften your gaze and feel standing here. Standing here with dignity in your own 2 footprints. Standing here in the only 2 footprints you can stand in, your own. Every step you have taken in the journey of your life has brought you here into these very footprints. Let's do another little experiment, and if you can keep your eyes soft or closed, this might be more effective. So we're just going to put a little bit of weight in our heels. If you feel like you're going to fall, softly open your eyes, but just lean back into your heels, lift your toes. And notice the strain in the back of the body holding you here. This is what our body feels like when we are in our past. Our past is finished with us. We're no longer welcome there. And so our body knows it's not where it's supposed to be, and it feels strain. Observing as we come back to our own footprints, how that tension and strain melts, and how much easier it is to stand here now. A sign that in this moment, this is where we're supposed to be, right here, right now. Let's lean forward now. Let's feel our weight coming into the balls of our feet and our toes. Maybe the heels elevate a bit. Notice now the strain and tension in the front of the body. This is what it feels like to our body when we get ahead of ourselves, when we're in the future. This is where worry, anxiety live. And it's like showing up early to a party. It's kind of rude. The future isn't ready for us yet. The table's not set. So let's come back to our own footprints and watch that tension melt again. Right here, right now, this breath, these footprints. Let's play with balance from here, keeping our attention to those anchored feet. We'll shift about 80% of our weight into our right foot, standing straight, let's lift our left toes to touch the floor behind us. Just engaging a little through the left hip. And for starters, we can keep the arms at our sides, and we'll start to test the water by lifting the toes. And perhaps that's our balance for today, just a little shift forward. You can come to parallel to the floor or anywhere in between. You're welcome to keep your arms at your sides or perhaps heart center, out in a T. Noticing your standing leg, probably wobbling a little bit. That's a leg learning how to balance itself. It's learning something new. Take a deep breath in and slowly return to center, but let's try not to shake out that right foot. Let's try to stay firmly planted. Very often we shake out the leg so fast that we lose all that grounding that we just established. Notice your body knows how to release that strain. It just needs a moment. Good. So shifting now about 80% of our weight into our left foot and reaching the right toes to the mat behind us. And then when you're ready, tilting forward and either just barely lifting those toes or coming into more of a T shape, anywhere in between. Just exploring balance. If you fall, that's an incredible opportunity to observe the way you just try again, come back again to the pose. Your ankle is just learning something new. And if it's not wobbling, give it a little more challenge. And slowly returning to solid ground. And just consider standing here for a moment without shaking out the left foot. Notice solid ground. Bring your hands in front of your heart and let's just observe a heart beating a little bit faster. Taking deep breaths, a reminder that we can always slow our own heartbeat. Let's inhale the arms up. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, lift halfway. Exhale, stepping back, downward facing dog. On the in-breath, allow the right leg to lift. And just see about picking up the left wrist, maybe to fingertips. Maybe one fingertip. Maybe that hand lifts off the ground. Balance and imbalance. Switching sides. Just playful here. Left leg lifts, right wrist, maybe right fingers. And releasing to downward facing dog. Let's drop the knees to the earth and settle back into child's pose, giving our forehead some support. Maybe noticing again a heart that's racing and a reminder that we can use our breath to slow our own heart rate. We can use our breath as a way to come back to solid ground when we feel like we're a little off center. When you feel ready, coming to a seat. Let's come into one more practice of balance, the pose of the boat. And we'll shift our weight back a little bit to the back of our sitting bones, right between tailbone and sit bones. Let's try to keep our waistband up off the floor as a way to engage our core. So first of all, testing the water by picking up one foot and picking up the other. If that's feeling like a go ahead for you, maybe picking up both. You can hold the legs or float the arms. So now balancing on our glutes, and trusting our core to keep us centered. Let's deepen our breath, noticing the muscles that are working to balance us here. And taking one more deep breath in and releasing boat pose. Lowering down onto our backs. Drawing the knees in toward our torso. We can either just hold here or move. Sometimes it feels good just to give a nice squeeze. Sometimes a little movement is what the body's asking for. Let's extend the legs straight up overhead, taking a moment to flex and point, and just reverse the blood flow, reverse the circulation from those standing, balancing shapes. Maybe thanking our feet for allowing us the gift of balance. And then let's draw the feet back to the earth. Taking a moment to come into a position for relaxation, and we'll just be here for a couple of minutes. So you don't need to worry about getting too many props, but you're welcome to. We're here for just a couple of minutes to settle, to give our weight back to the earth. Again, this sense of grounding, gravity. Noticing the parts of your body that are in contact with the earth. Each exhale, inviting us to sink into this shape on this mat in this moment. Let's bring this sensation of calm, grounding with us into a seat. Moving slowly so that the energy stays slow, calm, easy, gentle. Keeping our attention inward. Let's notice again that breath that feels like a string lifting through the crown of the head, with an exhale that invites us to soften and just surrender to gravity here. Let's finish this practice with a little visualization. Imagining that the string that's lifting the crown of your head is a golden cord. And that cord is lifting all the way up through the roof of wherever you find yourself toward a beautiful blue sky. And that cord runs through your body and down into the earth, stretching deep into the earth as an anchor. And here you sit with this beautiful balance between being lifted toward the sky and anchored to the earth. A human being that holds this beautiful sacred space between heaven and earth. And imagine if you could see beneath the surface of the earth all of the other golden cords holding others to their seat. And at some point in the middle of this big, beautiful blue and green ball that we call home, all of those golden cords come together. All of us held here by gravity and connected through this golden cord. With each in-breath we take, imagining that cord through the top of our head lifting us and acting as an antenna. As we exhale, sending energy down through the earth to all of the other golden cords. What is the message you are receiving? And what is the message you are sending? Let's take a deep breath in together. And as we do, let's invite our arms to reach overhead. And as the hands come to heart center, you might visualize just letting go of this golden cord for now knowing that we can always come back to this center, this beautiful center of light, of love, of healing, and of connection. It's always right here in the middle of us to return to. And thank you for joining me and each other today in this practice of balance. Namaste.